All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to a very special episode of Empathic Interfacing Live for this Friday. So again, not to worry, the New Earth Teachings Live will be back next Friday. So I'll be doing, distance healing and live Q&A next Friday as well. But of course, we'll have Q&A today with our very special guest, Athena. So again, for those of you who have already seen the Empathic Interfacing Live in the past, I won't be doing the traditional, kind of walk me through relating to connecting empathically with Athena today, because she does want to share some things, and we're going to pretty much get into it after we do our guided meditation today. So she has some things to share, and afterwards, RaYaR will be coming through, and she'll be doing a language of light transmission as well too. But when Athena is here, you'll be able to connect with her and ask some questions as well too. So firstly, before we go ahead and get started, we have a couple of announcements. So this is our next webinar, Adronis Inside the Galactic Community. Okay, so this is the webinar that is $4.99 for registration. As I said, basically when I'm charging the registration in that sense, this is helping to go towards the Healing Code Cards Mind Deck. Okay, so the Mind Deck is going to be launching around the end of September. And the registrations for these events go towards printing out cards, because they are quite a hefty cost to print out all the cards. So, Adronis Inside the Galactic Community is happening Sunday, August 30th at 12 p.m. Pacific. We're pretty much halfway sold out already of the event. So again, if you want to register, we're still a couple more weeks away from it. It's best to grab a hold of them while you can to register for this event. So the website again is newearthteachings.com. You'll find this poster on the home page, okay? And just click on that poster, and that will take you to the registration page, and you can go ahead and register. So Adronis is going to be talking about some really amazing information about the galactic community, things that we have not heard before. Of course, there's a picture of RaYaR here, and RaYaR might be coming in as well too for the galactic community event. But he is going to be talking a lot about extraterrestrial community, the galactic community, life on board spacecraft, what many of these different races do throughout the cosmos, his personal interactions with some of these beings as well too, because he is very much in touch with a lot of the members of the galactic community. So again, it's going to be very, very exciting. Of course, there will be Q&A with Adronis as well too. So I'm very much looking forward to this event. It's very much a much more in-depth event relating to our galactic brothers and sisters. So it's going to be very exciting, and I'm very much looking forward to it. So again, go to newearthteachings.com and just look for this poster that you see here, and you can register on the website. And of course, Healing Code cards are still doing very, very well. We still got plenty of cards available on Amazon.ca and Amazon.com. Also plenty of cards available for those who are international. So again, if you are an international customer, make sure you go to healingcodecards.com and you can order your card deck there. As I said, the Mind Deck is coming as well too. It's going to be happening around the end of September. I'm currently designing all the cards right now, and then it's going to take a while because there's a lot of design involved. But around end of August, early September, I'll start be putting in the spirit code commands for all the cards, which is an even more rigorous process. But I'm hoping for everything to be ready by the end of September, if not early October at the latest. But they are coming. And the Mind Deck, again, is a great complement to the Body Deck. They are meant to work hand in hand together, the Body Deck and the Mind Deck together as one. So the Body Deck, again, works to clear out toxins, debris, viruses, harsh bacteria, etc. And the Mind Deck is going to be working with clearing out attachments, cleaning the chakra centers, cleaning your aura, working with releasing emotional attachments, helping out with lucid dreaming, increasing mental focus. There's a lot of things that it is going to be working on, and really just working together in tandem with that. So those will be basically the two core decks. Okay, so we basically have the Body Deck and the Mind Deck, and the next year after, we'll be having what's known as the Encore decks. Okay, and the Encore decks will be a mixture of new cards for both the Body and the Mind Deck. Okay, so for the Encore deck, which will be next year, we'll have that mixture. So it'll be a mixture of Body and Mind cards, brand new ones, that will be in the Encore deck, and then the year after that, there'll be a second set of the Encore deck that will contain extra cards for the body and the mind decks as well too. So that's basically how the flow is going to go between now and the next 2 years relating to the Healing Code cards. And of course, there is also the Healing Code shop. Okay, I believe the discount is still on, 15% discount. It's basically just lasting about 2 weeks. I think today might be the last day. I'll have to check that, but hopefully that 15% is still there. Let me take a look as I pull up the website right now, and not sure. Oops, let me go to the shop here. Okay. I think the 15% might be finished, but anyways, the deals are still great here on healingcodeshop.com, so I might have to update that. I'm not too sure if the 15% discount is still on. But again, lots of great items here, from t-shirts to hats, accessories, etc. And of course, there's 4 themes connected to the Healing Code shop, which is the Rejuvenator, the Detoxifier, the Strengthener, and the Charger. Again, you can look at the video on the website, healingcodeshop.com. It tells you more about the themes involved as well too. But I'm getting some really good positive feedback from people who are wearing the shirts. They're feeling really energized by them, doing very, very well. Now, of course, the Healing Code cards are much more thorough. They have a lot more coding contained into them. But the t-shirts have, again, a good kind of well-rounded coding to them altogether. They do the job just as good, but they're not as thorough as the Healing Code cards. The Healing Code cards do a lot more thorough job. But again, this gives you a really good overall feeling, a good boost in vitality. It's just, again, wearing a kind of a lighter version of the Healing Code cards in apparel form. So again, I wear them quite often. I've actually got all the shirts dirty now because I keep wearing them every single day. So again, feel free to check it out, healingcodeshop.com. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started today with Empathic Interfacing Live. So the first thing we're going to do to get started is we're going to be getting into a guided meditation state. We're just going to get ourselves relaxed. We're going to be connecting to the earth as well too. Of course, Athena is part of the inner earth civilization known as the Delphi, or the Delphi, whatever you want to call them. I call them the Delphi. And of course, she'll be coming in here very, very shortly. So again, we'll get started with a guided meditation. I'll bring Athena in. Athena will share some information, and of course, we'll have some time for Q&A with Athena. But like I said at the beginning of the broadcast, if you guys do want to figure out how to connect with Athena, basically just look at the last Empathic Interfacing Live on my YouTube channel, and that will give you some instructions just before I bring Athena in. Really, it just comes down to the 3 tiers, right? The personal level, the universal level, the God level, and Athena is meeting with you on all 3 tiers, and now you're able to connect with her. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with a guided meditation. So let's all just get ourselves nice and comfortable. We can place our hands upon the center of our chest, and taking a deep breath in, deep breath out, and once again, deep breath in, deep breath out, and one more time, deep breath in, and deep breath out. And now I just want you to do a scan of your body, okay? Just going at the top of your head and working your way all the way down to the bottom of your feet. And just be aware of any stiffness, of any discomfort, of any pain, of any soreness or anything of that nature, okay? And you're just, again, seeing any of that stiffness or soreness or discomfort as black liquid within your body. As you give yourself a full scan, I want you now to bring your attention and awareness to the base of your spine. And I want you to imagine that these black etheric roots are coming out of the base of the spine, and they're just spiraling down the legs and moving all the way down to the bottom of the feet. The bottom of the feet are opening up, and you're feeling these black etheric roots going deeper into the earth. And feel free to bring them into the earth as deep as you like. Okay, and now that you have scanned your body as well too, and you're just aware of any tension, any stress, any stiffness, any soreness, any aches, any discomfort, okay, and just feeling that as black liquid, you're converging all of that energy at the base of the spine, okay, so it's just all being converged at the base of the spine, and that black liquid is now going into the black etheric roots, and going deeply into the earth. Okay, so you're just telling your mother, please absorb all of this debris energy and transmute it into harmony. All right, and just showing your love and appreciation to Mother Earth as she takes all of that debris and purifies it. Okay. So I'll just give you guys a moment now as you're again sending all of that debris out through the black etheric roots, going deeply into the earth for it to be transmuted and purified into harmony. And now that we have expelled all of that debris from the black roots are now going to absorb a lot of the earth energy now coming into the roots as brown energy. And now we're feeling all of that brown energy of the earth moving up through the roots and connecting directly to the feet and moving that energy all the way up into the base of the spine. And now that that energy is moved up into the base of the spine, you are now fully grounded to the earth. Okay. And now we're just going to work with opening up the chakra centers. Again, moving in a counterclockwise direction. 7 times. Okay, we're going to start off with the root chakra. Okay, so seeing the color red like an apple. Okay. And spiraling that 7 times counterclockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Moving up now into the navel chakra, colored orange. Counterclockwise 7 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Moving up now to the solar plexus, colored yellow like a lemon. Counterclockwise 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Moving up now to the heart, colored green like grass. Counterclockwise 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Moving up now to the throat chakra, colored sky blue. Counterclockwise 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Moving up now to the third eye chakra, colored ocean blue. Counterclockwise 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And finally, moving up to the crown chakra, colored violet. Counterclockwise 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, and now just focusing on the abdomen, taking a deep breath in as you bring that breath all the way up to the crown chakra. Exhale and feeling the crown chakra opening, feeling that rainbow light cascading down the body like a fountain, going all the way down to the bottom of the feet and moving up into the perineum. And now seeing the toroidal field unfolding, connecting to the top and the bottom of your body. And now feeling that toroidal field slowly starting to spin, counterclockwise. And feeling spirit light coming into the toroidal field now, and having spirit light surround the entire grid of the toroidal field. That white spirit light. Okay, and so we'll take another deep breath in, deep breath out. And we can open our eyes. We can come back into the present moment. So again, with all of that white spirit light around you, if you feel that there is any other forms of energy that you want to work with within your body that are not in harmony with yourself, then you can work with that spirit light. Okay, so you're working with that spirit light. Again, kind of putting your hands forward and feeling the spirit light coming in and placing it upon the area of your body, right? You're just kind of rubbing it in, massaging it in, and brushing it off, right? And letting spirit stay with you, okay? And you just basically give your problems to spirit, okay? Give your emotional problems to spirit. Give your physical problems to spirit. Give your mental problems to spirit, whatever it is, your belief systems, okay? And you say, Spirit, clear this away. God, clear this away. And it shall be done, all right? Simple as that, guys. That's all it takes. It's your faith, it's your belief, it's your certainty that you are working with spirit, that you are working with God light, all right? All right, so now we're going to go ahead and connect with Athena. So again, if you guys are tuning in for the first time, you don't know who Athena is. This is again a rendering of her, Athena of the Delphi. Okay, so she has kind of that whitish platinum kind of hair. Her eyebrows are actually a little bit more lighter. Her eyes are kind of a pinkish red. Okay, and her skin is a very pale complexion. So kind of like an albino in that way. She's very, very sweet. I've had a lot of people who have connected with her in the past as she's come through. They've had just a lot of love through her. She's a very, very loving woman. And she is basically representing her collective in that way. So basically, as I see her, she exists in kind of a white space, like a white realm. I don't really see her surroundings too much. There have been times where I have in the past, but they basically keep their surroundings kind of in this white complexion. And so Athena is kind of in the center of the room. She's often dressed in kind of like a white gown in that way, or kind of like a white cloak. And I interface with her and connect. So this is not channeling in this way. This is more so of connecting heart to heart and being able to bring Athena in, and I can kind of feel her energy coming through, and she starts having conversations. So again, like I said, I'm not going to be going through the pre-empathic interfacing process today. That can be shared in the last episode of the Empathic Interfacing Live for those who are interested. And of course, you guys can talk to Athena all the time, right? Regardless if I'm connecting with her or not. So again, that's always an option for you guys to do, should you want to explore that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take a moment just to connect with Athena. I've kind of already done the pre-connection thing with her, all right? The pre-connection practice. So I'll be with you guys in just a moment as I connect with Athena now. All right, Athena is saying, I bid you welcome. I thank you very much for being a part of our realm, being part of our family, being part of this great time upon your planet. So I'm just asking Athena and anything that she would like to share with us today. She's saying there is a lot happening within the interior of the planet right now. There is a lot of activity that's taking place in the interior of the planet right now. You could say that it is a rejuvenation that's taking place right now. There is a great purging that's taking place. In fact, much of the interior, I'm trying to find a good way to put this because she's kind of saying it in a different way. It's kind of an interior revamping, an interior re-transformation is basically taking place here. So there's a lot of energies that are being pushed from the center of the planet, and it's starting to push up into the surface. So it's basically that Mother Earth is cleaning out her cells, right? All the cells within the greater interior of her body. So this may lead to certain forms of earth changes that are to come in the times ahead, but do not be alarmed. This will not lead to any form of major concern. There are going to be some shifts taking place. There may be some certain aspects pertaining to some earthquakes that may be coming. There is also some seismic activity, or more so kind of volcanic activity, that is kind of stirring because there's a lot of energy that has been built, that has been placed deeply into the earth for a very, very long time. And now a lot of that is attempting to be harmonized. There's a lot of groups inside the earth that's attempting to do a lot of interior cleansing, right? Basically, we're attempting to work together with the earth to do a lot of interior cleansing so that we can lighten, soften, and cushion a lot of this energy that is now looking to come to the surface. Because it is basically coming from the core, it's moving up into the interiors of the planet, it's going to be coming up to the surface, and it's going to expand itself into the aurora of the earth as well too. And every group responsible that is part of these different layers of the planet is helping to soften and cushion these different levels of purging energies that are coming through the planet right now. So this is the best way I'm trying to put it in regards to what she is attempting to show me here. It's kind of like she's holding her hands with water, and she's basically like singing to the water and cleansing it and purifying it. And it was kind of like it was dirty water at first, and then it becomes cleansed, and then it becomes purified. Okay, so that's kind of what's happening. All this dirty energy is coming up, and it's looking to be cleansed. It's looking to be purified, and it would be very, very helpful for humanity to work together in meditative states, to form groups, whether it's through your internet or whether it's physical, and just start blessing the energies ahead. You are going to feel a lot of these energies coming up throughout your month of August, September, and October. Okay, so there's a lot of purging energy coming out, simply because there's a time right now of this great shift that is taking place that is going to renew a lot of the energies, specifically within the interior of the planet, that will make its way like a ripple effect up into the surface altogether. And like I said, it's going to go all the way up into the aurora of the Earth as well, too. So it's kind of like an interior cleansing that's basically taking place, almost like a sound wave that's rippling this energy, this old energy. And as it travels through the ripple, every respective civilization within the interior of the Earth, and then, of course, us upon the surface of the Earth, and even other celestials that are working together with the aurora of the Earth are helping to cleanse this energy, making sure it's purified, and attempting to cushion this energy as best as we can. Someone may be asking about the 8-8 Lion Gate. She said, yes, this is something that was felt a lot more stronger in the interior of the Earth, from what she is saying. She said there was a blessing. It was a blessed day, right? There was a lot of blessing. And many of the inner civilizations come together around that time, and they're basically in worship. They're in worship of the Earth. They're in worship with the Sophia energies. They're in worship with the alignments, and it's kind of like you're cultivating this great white light that becomes this kind of pulse, this kind of ripple, and it goes throughout the entire Earth, and it just ripples its effect through the interiors, through the surface, and all the way up into the aurora altogether. So she's just wanted to be here today to let you guys know that there is, again, an attempted cushioning effect, but it will become a lot more lighter and a lot more cushioned, with a lot of us helping out to just bring love to the Earth, right? So she's saying, like what Brad has taught you guys to do with the rooting of the Earth, to do a lot more of that, but bring a lot of love energy into the Earth, right? Try not to bring your pain energy into this point at this time, because it is very, very important that you're bringing a lot of love energy, right? So you want to fill your heart with a lot of love, right? Love for each other, love for the Earth, love for God, okay? And you're channeling that energy and you're putting it into the Earth, all right? So put your pure frequencies, put your pure heartedness, your pure love deeply into the interiors of the Earth, because that is going to help to cushion it, okay? And again, send love to your brothers and your sisters. Send love to everything upon this planet, to all the life, to nature, to the animals, to the plants, to the elements, right? To the mountains. Some of you who feel that the mountains are dormant or maybe active, send them a lot of love, right? Give them a lot of love. Go to God. Work with God power, work with God's spirit, and just saturate the mountains, right? Just imagine like it's liquid white light that's just coming down and saturating the mountains right to their core, and it's pure love and it's pure joy, right? We're attempting to cushion a lot of these things because we are very much on the cusp to where some of these particular disasters have been prophesied, right? Some of them involve volcanoes, some of them involve very intense earthquakes as well, too. So they're saying we're trying not to let that happen. We want to make sure that we're cushioning a lot of this energy, because there is a pushing that's happened. It's almost like looking at a woman in childbirth, and she's being told to push, right? And that's exactly what's happening right now. Mother Earth is pushing, right? And as she's pushing, this ripple is happening, okay? And it's intense energy. So all she really wanted to come in today to share was the idea of the importance of having her human family coming in and just helping to do their part as well too. Cushioning the energy, send a lot of love to the Earth, work with God power, work with the power of spirit, bring a lot of white light upon the surface of the Earth and into the interior of the Earth and upon the mountains as well too. So she just wanted to let us know between August, September, and October, this is where the time of the pushing, in that way the rippling effect, is happening. And kind of like how she's held her hands with this water that was once dirty, she's singing to it, she's blessing it, and it's now becoming purified. And that's basically the effect that we're attempting to get, relating to this energy that's being pushed from the inside out. Okay, so a great rippling effect. I'm asking her, is this going to lead to certain forms of events that may be quite intense as well too? It's always going to manifest within your thought field. Yes, it's going to manifest within a state of events. There's going to be, again, a lot of pushing, a retaliation, a pushing away of certain things. So that is basically what it is. It's almost going to be at a point where you're retaliating, where you're not really fighting, but you're just pushing and saying, no, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. So there's a greater retaliation energy that is going to be unfolding between now and moving up into October. Okay, and maybe even a little bit of the cusp of early November as well too. So right now, these next 3.5 months are going to be some very, very intense months, and it's very, very important that we have people that are working together with other humans that may not understand exactly what is going on, and they want to vent their anger and they want to vent their frustration. And she's saying if this gets too out of hand, then this cushion can become a very, very intense wave, right? And there can be earthquakes, there can be volcanoes, there can be earth changes, earth shifts in that particular way. So there's just this big pulse, big ripple that's happening right now. And she just wants us to be very, very aware of this and to help each other out, to work together with each other, to bring love, to bring harmony, going all the way into the interior of the earth with loving spirit energy. So humans, again, have to do their part because they have a part on the planet where they are dwelling. And so it's very much a part of their responsibility as well, too. We're stewards. So interior of the earth and the people upon within the earth are doing their part. We just have to remember to do ours as well, too. Okay, that's one of her big messages for today as well. I'm just asking how everything else is going within her, within the Delphi as well, too. She's saying prosperous. She said, this is a wonderful time. This is a wonderful time. It's like seeing a butterfly emerge from a cocoon. It's a very, very prosperous time. A lot of people are in celebration right now because this is all part of a very powerful transformation taking place. She's really, really excited. She's almost in tears. She's so excited about this time right now. That this is a prosperous time, that it's the end of corruption. It's the end of these old systems that humanity has been involved with for many thousands of years. Everything is going to start to change. All of that is going to fade away. It's basically going to be like a pillar of salt that dissolves away, right? And is going to basically be blown away from the wind, from what she's saying. It's almost kind of like looking at the Bible story with Lot's wife, right? Turning around and turning to stone or turning to salt. And basically seeing all of that energy kind of crumble away and blow away with the passing of the wind. And that's exactly what's happening with a lot of the corruption upon the planet. She says there's still a lot of work to do. She's being very insistent about that. She said there's still a lot of work to do, but you are helping Mother Earth with her pregnancy, right? You're helping Mother Earth to push, right? Because there's going to be times where she's going to push, and it's the pushing period right now, right? And this is going to happen over the next few years. She's pushing, and then something magnificent is going to be delivered within the next few years. So again, the idea of the pregnancy of this new consciousness is a slow process, but it is happening right now where Mother Earth is about to deliver. Okay, so we want to make sure that we're just doing our part. We're working together. We're helping each other out as well, too. But she said it's a very, very prosperous time. She said many of her people, I'm just asking how many of her people, like how many of the Delphi are in there. She doesn't want to give too much of an answer, but she said you could say there's well over about 50,000 of us, right? And so it could even be a higher number than that, but it's quite a lot within the Delphi. She says we do not overpopulate like humanity does. The idea of our population in that sense is very much in a natural balance and a natural harmony. So there's not too many of us. So we're giving you a rough figure, approximately around 50,000. Okay, so this is again what Athena wanted to come out and share, relating to this ripple effect, this kind of transitional time where the Earth is about to push and basically going through labor at this time. So again, we're just doing our part. We're helping out in that way. Okay. So Athena, will you be willing to take some questions? She said, yep. Okay, we'll take some questions. Okay. So here's an interesting question here from Blissful Gabriel. Thank you, Gabriel. He asks, hello, what energies will 2021 bring? Well, basically from where she is, she's saying there's a lot of prosperity, there's a lot of happiness to where we are. For humanity, it still is uncovering a lot of things, pulling out a lot of weeds, as Brad has said as well, too. 2021 is still going to be a very intense year because the Earth is still going to be pushing, right? She's not through this transition right now. But there's going to be a lot more of an opening exposure of like what is happening right now. And many of you are just seeing these holes, you're going into them, you're pulling out all of these fallacies, these things that should not be here. It is really going to be a year of action. There's going to be a lot of action taking place. There's going to be a lot of changes taking place as well too. There's going to be a lot of frustrated minds as well too, especially those who feel that they are losing their power. They want to still be very, very spiteful. If they cannot have their power, they will still try to launch campaigns that will try to be, again, severely damaging to other people. Do not fall for these campaigns. Again, this is all part of desperate people doing desperate things, right? So it's going to be a bit of a year of a desperation as well, too, with these people that are having these roots pulled out. They will fail in regards to their agendas pertaining to political power, right? They will be losing that. It's, again, kind of like looking at this domino effect of everything just falling around. I've also likened it to the idea of a final nail in the coffin. It's kind of like looking at a funeral service for the global elitists right now, right? All of that domino effect is going to be happening out a lot more stronger, especially in 2021. There's going to be a lot of panic. There's going to be a lot of desperation. There's going to be a lot of action, right? Again, a lot of their plans are just going to be foiled before they even have a chance to make them, right? So again, this is all part of us pulling out those nasty, dirty roots in the ground right now. So 2021 will have, again, a lot of upliftment, but there will be people who will express their desperate actions. This is kind of how Athena is putting it. People will express their desperate actions. They will try to be desperate. They will try to create these campaigns. They will try to create more and more fear because they're so desperate they're trying to basically bring a sinking ship back upon the surface of the water, and you can't do it. It's like the Titanic right now. It's going under its belly up, right? And it's just starting to go down. They're doing everything they can to try and bring the Titanic back up to the surface. You can't do that, right? They're sinking, and they're frantic, and they're desperate, and they're horrified. And come 2021, that horrific energy that they have is going to become a lot more frantic. It's like people just on a sinking ship, and they're just about to drown, right? Do not fall for their agendas. Do not fall for any panic agendas, any fear agendas that they are going to try and create through their media. Their media is also going to be exposed as well, too. There's going to be a big cleanup with their media. There's been a lot of attempts of that trying to happen, but it feels like there's going to be moving more of a combination shift to that as we get into 2021, also in 2022 as well, too. So she said there's a lot of cleanup for you humans to do, all right? And, of course, we are humans as well. She's saying we are humans. But for humans here upon the surface, you have a lot of cleaning up to do because a lot of this is just your own affairs. Just to get your own affairs in order, start working together, start loving each other, start exposing where there is corruption, because corruption does not belong with you, right? Wherever there is corruption, expose it. Wherever there is corruption, let people know about it. Pull it out of the ground, right? And saying, here it is. Now let's create something new. Let's create something better. Let's create something that works together with our people, right? So this is kind of what she's being quite adamant with as well, too. Just pull out the roots, pull out the bad plants. Your own Jesus said a tree is known by its fruit, right? You see a lot of these bad fruits around. You got to start pulling out the tree. It's no good, right? You pull it out by its roots and you throw it in a pile. You let it burn away. And now you plant new seeds, and new plants will take their place that can bear good fruit, right? It's very, very simple. So she's going back to those analogies as well, too. Pull out the bad plants. Pull out the bad trees. Pull out that which is rotten. Pull out that which is corrupt. Okay? That is really what 2021 is going to be about. Pulling these roots out. Pulling out these plants. Pulling out this bad fruit. Right? And looking at it. Right? Not everybody is going to want to look at that bad fruit. Not everybody is going to want to admit that they've been duped for a very, very long time as well, too. So again, this is going to be a continuation of many of you being on call to help other people because they're very, very confused right now. Even many of you are confused right now. Go to God. Right? Go to Spirit. Let God help you. Let Spirit help you. Work together past your confusion and work with building up this lot of love energy because it's going to make you strong. And the strong are needed right now. The strong are needed to help bring a lot of peace to people. Not to go out and look for the nature of trying to change people, but just creating an aura, creating an aurora, rather, of peace and love and happiness all around you, right? And that is going to bring the calmness. When people see that you're calm and that you're loving and that you're happy and that you're compassionate, that will spread to them, right? That is a very, very loving energy that we are attempting to bring through. So again, it's a cleanup time. It's a time of desperation as well. It's a time of action. Adronis and I have referred to it as the year of transition. Okay, a lot of things are basically going to die. What that means is a lot of these old plants are going to be pulled out of the ground and they're dead. Right, we're collecting the dead energies of corruption and tossing it into a pile altogether. So that's really what 2021 represents. So thank you, Gabriel, for your question. Okay, just go down the chat here a bit more. So again, these questions can be for me or for Athena. We'll probably have a few minutes of Q&A, and then we're going to get to RaYaR. Yeah, here's one from Pernilla. Pernilla says, did the 8-8 Lion Gate activation meditation, when we connected to the inner earth, contribute to the changes? She's nodding her head big time. She's like, yes, yes, dear one. It has really, really helped. When you come together with the 8-8, this is such a crucial point. This is what she's saying. It's such a crucial time because it's like looking at this gigantic spark. And everyone that contributes together through the 8-8 energy, because it is such a powerful energetic alignment, makes this ball of energy bigger, right? And it's like it's just forming right at the core of the earth. And that's the pulse, right? That's the pulse. That's the ripple. That's encouraging the earth to push, okay? So yes, everybody who contributes, humans, inner earth civilizations, everybody that contributes is making a difference, okay? So do not feel that your work is going unnoticed. It's not. Humans are the most powerful. So your energy is indeed being noticed, okay? This is exactly what Athena is sharing with you. Do not underestimate yourselves. Do not feel that all the work that you put in is for naught. It has effect. It has a very, very powerful effect. We can see it, right? And it's like a star that's shining brightly and getting much more brighter and a lot more luminous and a lot more beautiful. It is not going unnoticed. Please put into consideration what you're doing, right? It's not about saying, oh, I think this thought and nothing's going to happen. No, everything is going to happen through those thoughts, through those energies, especially those that you intensify through yourself with great feeling. Radiant feeling through those states of great love bring about effects and transformations that are so grand and so powerful, you may not even believe it, okay? But we can see it, and it is very appreciated for what you're doing. Please continue to do what you do, not even just upon these special times, but every single day, because every single day is a special day, is a special alignment, and it all works towards the whole, okay? That's from Athena, from what she's sharing here. So thank you, Pernilla, for that. This is from Killian. It says, not a question, but when I think of Athena of Delphi, my mind's eye shows me Zelda from The Legend of Zelda. I love that series too as well. Interesting. It was very vivid, and I just woke up. Love to you both. Oh, that's sweet. So maybe you see Athena as Zelda. That's great. Maybe Link's there in the background too. I don't know. I'm a gamer, so I know what you're talking about. Thank you, Killian. Tana says, does this have anything to do with the Schumann resonance being so high? She says, yes, it's part of it. It's a natural process. It's not just going to instantly spike up. There's events, and this is basically how she's saying it. She says there's events that are going to lead to a larger cascade and then a dip, a larger cascade and a dip. And then there will come a point to where the Schumann resonance will have a larger hit, but it just doesn't instantly happen. It's all part of something that is built up over time. But as Athena stated, is that the Earth is pregnant, right? And she's pushing right now. And so we will certainly feel that with the Schumann resonance. We'll also can detect that with the magnetic field, with the aurora energies for of us who can see it in the ethers as well too. We can see like these beautiful bright color patterns as we look up at the sky, right? Like an aurora borealis. But as it gets stronger and stronger and more brighter and more intense, the Earth is doing a lot of work inside herself. So it's kind of like we're being the doulas, all right, the midwives for the Earth, taking care of her, helping her through this very, very intense time, right? The nurses, the stewards, we're helping her. She's pushing, and what she's going to give birth to is going to be something very, very magnificent, right? It's a whole new level of being, a whole new level of consciousness. This is what we could also see as what's commonly referred to as the splitting of worlds, right? That is taking place, and of course leading up into this transdimensional shift, as I've talked about, 2037, 2038. All right. So very good. And yes, that is very much the part relating to the Schumann resonance. Just so you guys know, I'm not channeling Adronis today. All right. There's a question for Adronis. You guys can come back next week for that. But no, I'm not channeling Adronis today. Okay, Mark says, never heard of the Delphi. Is this related to the inner Earth civilization known as the Anshar? No. Said they do not have any direct connections with the Anshar. Said they are not an inner Earth civilization. Okay, Mark, I would suggest you go back and look at some of the past empathic interfacing lives, because Athena has talked a lot about that. Says the Anshar are not a race of beings. It's much more of a religion. Okay, the Anshar is a name of a religious group or religious organization. It has roots to Sumeria. Okay, but it is not a civilization. It's a religious group that embodies several different types of inner Earth civilizations, but that is not the name of an inner Earth civilization. The Anshar is just a name of a Sumerian religion in that way that is practiced by several different inner Earth civilizations. So again, I know Corey Good has talked about the Anshar in that sense, but that's not their name. That's not the name of a race. That's just, again, a Sumerian background. It's more of a Sumerian-based religion. So she says, no, we have no associations with the Anshar whatsoever. If you're looking at the Delphi, it's under Delphi, Greece. Okay, they are under Greece. That is basically where their civilization exists. From what Anshar and even her previous colleague, Nefertitis, has talked about as well too, that they were part of the oracle relating to the Delphi in that sense, that the oracle was very much like their channel, their vessel, and they would speak through the oracle. The oracle would also connect with other different intelligences as well too, but the Delphi would help to work with the oracle as well too, to give predictions, to also work together with, I guess you could say, tellings of the times ahead, tellings of what was to come in that way. Okay, so they worked with humanity for a very, very long time. She's saying like for well over 50, 60,000 years when it comes down to ancient Greece. Okay, that's what they represent. So they're very much like an albino race. They have kind of reddish pink eyes, very, very pale complexion, light hair in that way. It's kind of like a race of albino people. Okay, that's the Delphi. So again, thank you for that. Okay, here's one from Juan. Juan says, hi, Brad. Question for Athena. Grays are blocking enhancement pineal gland meditations at daylight. With those entities get ride soon from the earth, thanks. She's like, I don't know what you're talking about. It's kind of what Athena is saying. She's saying it's basically you might be getting into some propaganda here. Okay, there's nothing in regards to what you said that she's in agreement with. She's like, no, I don't know what you're talking about with that. Said, no, you're giving too much power to these species, and this is just another human race, and they're not really a factor anymore. Many of them have left the star system. All right, the Greys aren't really here anymore, and any particular forms of associations with the Grey would be done through mental projection. Right, a lot of them are not here. A lot of their bases are being evacuated. A lot of their installations have already been infiltrated, and a lot of them have been leaving the star system. So she says, I really don't know what you're talking about. Okay, because that is not really what's happening whatsoever. That is much more of a theory and a belief and a philosophy more than anything else from what she's saying. Okay, and I would have to say the same. I'm not getting anything in regards to something like that. So please, guys, check your sources, okay? There's a lot of people that are going to throw a lot of propaganda around and think, oh, our pineal glands are being blocked and this is happening and the Greys are doing this and all that. You guys got to look inside, right? This is going to be your filter. This is going to be your discernment filter. A lot of people will pop up on the internet, will pop up on YouTube, on videos, and say all these things, and they may be very charismatic, and they pull this stuff off, and you guys get into fear. Right? Now you start spreading the word. You haven't even validated that within yourself. As soon as what you say on there is not even validated from what I'm sharing, right? From what I'm receiving. There's a lot of work being done behind the scenes. And of course, there's a lot of situations that have unfolded where there's been, I guess you could say, skirmishes taking place, and a lot of the old powers basically being thrown off their thrones in that way. That's really what's happening right now. It's not a continuation of continued slavery, right? We're getting out of that phase, right? So again, if we've been down here, we're now at rock bottom, and we're now starting to move our way back up, right? We're not going to go back down again. Right now, we're up here, okay? So doing stuff like that would have serious repercussions on the human race altogether. And that's not really how they work, right? A lot of it has to do with vibrational rays. A lot of it has to do with vibrational shielding. And a lot of that comes from technology of the moon as well too, right? And like I said, that volume button of the moon, the cranking up of the technology, has now been infiltrated and is now going to start winding its way down. But it needs to be done very, very slowly, because it's almost like trying to get off pharmaceutical medication. You have to take it very, very slow and start to wind that down, right? So basically, with the times ahead, that button is now going to, that dial is very slowly going to start winding down. And Adronis has also talked about by 2024, all technology on the moon is going to be deactivated, okay? So we're going in an uphill climb right now. We're moving up. We're not going back down here. So again, that's all I can share, is that my own internal meter, as well as Athena's, is saying, I'm not too sure where you got that information, but that would not be correct at all, right? Don't give so much power to the grays. Give power to yourself, okay? That's what's important right now. We're more powerful as a race than any other race that exists. So it's about being able to harness that power and work together with ourselves. Looking into my own pineal gland, I'm not feeling that at all, okay? So again, just be careful with certain forms of propaganda that's out there. Hi from Vancouver. Oh, hello from Vancouver as well. Taylor, thank you. Mark says, I also want to know if she can tell us anything about the upcoming election. She just says, just look towards Trump. Just look towards Trump. That's all she's going to say about it. Look towards Trump. She's not saying who's winning, who's losing, but she says just look towards Trump, focus on him. Okay? If you're very interested in your elections, focus on him and what he is doing. Okay? That's what she can share about it. Someone asked, what do you think of Altarian? She said, I haven't met them. I haven't met them personally. But they too are facilitators that work as part of the cosmic community as well too. So they are involved on certain levels of the earth, of certain levels of security in that way, but she has not personally met any of them. Okay, so that's what she can share. Okay, here's one here from Perna again. I would like to know how mankind has helped the inner world and Delphi throughout the religious ages. Did religious prayers help balance earth, both outer and inner? She said mankind really didn't do anything for the inner earth because many of them didn't even believe that we existed. She says we have been more so the stewards of man. We have helped out in many different ways, just similar to the idea of a prophet or an oracle in that way. We have also, at times, our ancestors have come forward and given good tidings, but they have functioned together as messengers. They have talked to kings and they have talked to emperors, and a lot of times when they have talked to them, they have tried to help them, encourage them to go in much more prosperous directions, not to go in warlike directions. Of course, many of these forms of emissaries were denied, and their information was cast aside, because the kings and queens and emperors of these ancient civilizations had their own ideals. They simply wanted to rule, right? And they had much more of the conquering blood within themselves rather than the blood of reasonability. So humanity hasn't really done anything for the inner earth civilizations. It's on very, very rare occasions where we may actually allow a human being to come into within our dwellings, you could say, in a way. She kind of talks in sometimes ancient rhetoric here, so I'm trying to make it modernize into our dwellings here. But again, it is very, very restricted. We can only offer them so much. We can only show them so much. And many of them will go out and start talking to other people about what they have seen. However, many of these people that we have brought into the inner earth, into our dwellings, have been foreseen as crazy and are often put to death. Right? And that was in the ancient times, okay? So humanity hasn't really done so much with the idea of the inner earth civilizations. And she said that's fine, right? It's not quite the time for that, but there will be a time where there will be a mutual exchange. This is a little bit further down the road, but there will be a time where there will be a mutual exchange between our people, between many of the other inner earth civilizations and humanity, because many of us have agreed to work together as stewards. For a long time, many of us have been complacent with the tasks that we have worked with in taking care of our own civilizations. And many of us in that sense have had a lot of distaste and distrust for the human civilizations because we felt that they have been too bent towards the willpower of conquering, of manipulation, of hurting other people, of hurting themselves. And many civilizations did not want to be involved with you because they thought that you were violent, they thought that you were pig-headed, that you were stubborn, and that we just simply could not get through to you. And so many of us gave up, right? But that's not what's happening now, right? A lot of us now are realizing that it is very, very important that we are with you and that we are helping you out. We are happy to assist in any particular way. This is why we are open to talking to many of you who can connect with us, okay? So like I said, Athena can talk to many of you simultaneously, right? As you connect to her energy, because you're talking to her soul. And this is all I'm doing right now, is I'm really just talking to Athena's soul, right? And again, she uses that name. That's not even her real name, but she uses that name out of respect for the goddess, okay? So no, humanity hasn't really done anything for inner Earth civilizations. They've basically squandered a lot of things. They basically are at a level of immaturity. And you're basically coming out of that immaturity, and you're learning how to be a mature civilization and get out of complacency and get out of arrogance and get out of a conquering mentality, getting out of a I'm number one thing and nobody else matters, getting out of that immaturity a lot more. And as you move more into the maturity, there will be a lot more interactions, not just with the inner Earth civilizations, but from the star families, from other interdimensional beings as well too. The universe will unfold itself right now because much of the universe has folded itself in from you because humanity needs to grow up, right? We need to get out of this slave program. We need to get out of this immaturity. We need to get out of this lack of evolution of ourselves. And as we start to mature and as we start to work together with the higher planes, we start to work with God, we work with spirit energy, we start to mature ourselves, we start to bring love and compassion to everybody, then the universe is going to unfold. And there's going to be a lot of life that is going to be in support of what we're doing. But a lot of races are afraid of us, right? And this is even coming out of Athena. So a lot of races are frightened to death of you, right? Because you're so powerful. You don't know how powerful you are, but when you have these hostile emotions and you're projecting that towards another one of these beings, to them it's almost like they're being raped by your emotions because that's how powerful you are. You are, again, not disciplined enough to work together with your own feelings. When you have a hostile intention toward a person, when it's another one of these races that exists beyond the earth and they come to you, it's like they're being molested by your emotion because it's so powerful. You don't realize what you're doing, right? But it's very, very powerful, and they can't come near you. They feel like there's this weight, this heaviness of this emotion from your fear and from your anger, from your hostility and from your defensiveness. You don't know how to put that in control. You don't know how to control your emotions. A lot of beings are afraid of you because you're so powerful, right? So a lot of them really want to keep a distance from you because you're still learning a level of maturity right now. And you're very dangerous. And this is, again, what many of them will say. Human beings are very dangerous, right? They don't know how to control their emotions. They're very frantic. They're very fragile. And we can't really go near them. It's like trying to run a marathon underwater. They're so dense. And when they throw those emotions at you, it's like you're being violated from the inside. It's so powerful, and we can't stand it. We have no power with that. So this is, again, why so many races are keeping their distance with us. Okay, guys, is that putting things into perspective right now? Okay, we have to be very aware of the type of emotions that we are projecting out constantly. Okay, it is hurting life. If we start throwing all this garbage around relating to our fear, our defensiveness, our ego, our arrogance, nature feels it. Nature's a crystal, right? She's absorbing a lot of that stuff as well, too. And, of course, nature is designed to absorb a lot of human emotions, but there's so much, right? This is why, again, there's been this buildup for many, many thousands of years that is now starting to come out, and it's a great purging. It's a lot of work. This is why Athena has come today and said, we need your guys' help because humans are the most powerful, all right? And we need you to bring a lot of love to the planet. rather than constantly squandering and taking advantage of things and hurting yourselves and hurting others and fighting others for no reason, all because of differences of opinion. This is very alien to do, right? It's not who you guys are at all. You're not these aliens, and you're getting into these alien things about hurting people and conquering and dominion and all that stuff. She said this is much more Archon-based energy that you guys are going through more than anything else. Get out of the Archon mentality, right? Get into the human mentality, which is love, which is compassion, which is discipline, which is a dedicated mind to helping yourself and others and the entire planet and the galaxy and the universe. That's the human way, not the Archon way, all right? So that's what she's sharing with that all together. Okay, she's actually highlighted that word Archon, because I was actually looking at Archon the other day as well. ET disclosure, not happening for a while, man. Not for quite some time. Humanity's got to grow up first, right? So again, a lot of the disclosure that's happening will be personal disclosure, right? Organic disclosure happening with certain people, with certain groups. We have a long way before disclosure. I know some people say, oh no, it's going to be real quick. No, guys, we're too immature for disclosure right now, okay? We have a lot of growing up to do. We have to work with the Earth. You cannot have full-out extraterrestrial disclosure by using the kind of technology that we're doing, that we're hurting the planet in a certain way that we're doing, that we're hurting each other, that we're having riots, that we're having protests, and anybody else that says, oh, we can have ET disclosure here real quick is looking for a savior, okay? Don't think that these guys up here are going to bail you out, okay? They know better. They know the entire protocol. We as humans don't know it. We don't even know the natural laws. We don't even know the universal laws. We don't know the creator laws. We don't know the intervention laws that are in harmony together with those laws, right? All we know is human laws. We know things created by men, and that means nothing. That's got to change, guys, before we can get any particular opportunity to start exploring the stars with our family. We got to grow up, right? We got to start working together with people. We got to stop fighting because people want to wear masks and people don't want to wear masks. We got to stop fighting because people are concerned about family matters or how to run a family or morality, etc. All of that is toxic, right? It's Archon-based thinking. And we need to get out of that crap, right? And as we get out of that, we start to mature. Then yes, like I said, the universe will unfold itself. And there will be a lot more opportunity for growth and for prosperity to take place, okay? So it's still a bit of a ways before we get the idea of a global first contact or disclosure, okay? The aspect of disclosure as a whole is coming down in drips, right? There's little bits of drips here and there. But again, it's not enough to really bring forward a full disclosure, right? That's going to be in time. Angela says, hi, Brad and Athena. How should we accommodate our children through this energy? I have a 5-year-old and she is so aware and I want to guide her. Love her and listen to her. Do not think that you know more than her. Listen to her, right? That's kind of what Athena is saying. So listen to her. So it says, in our society, children are so precious and we listen to them. Once we teach them how to communicate, we listen to them because they have such fresh ideas. They're so fresh from source. They're so fresh into this life and their ideas are very pure. And what they share with you is so pure. Preserve that purity, preserve that preciousness with your little one. Encourage her and work together with her. And this is kind of what I would suggest as well too, as Athena, is kind of being very mindful about the kind of people that are seeing her, okay? Do not try and put her in public schools. Be very, very good that she has much more of an education that is much more from you, or from, again, much more higher levels of consciousness, right? Basically working together with almost like a spiritual school, right? She'll have guides working with her, teaching her things, right? If you want to give her schooling, maybe something at home in that way. But be very, very careful not to taint what she has relating to her innocence. You want to preserve that innocence for as long as you possibly can. You want to support her. She's your teacher, okay? Listen to her. And that's kind of what Athena says. She says, in our society, children are very, very valued. They're very precious, and we listen to them because they are the innovators of new ideas. Our society shifts and shapes itself based upon these pure ideas, specifically from children. All right? So it's good to do the same. Okay, guys, we're going to take one more question and we're going to wrap up here. See if I can find a good one here. Okay, here's a good one I think we'll end on. Tana says, what is the best way to control our emotions? It's not about controlling them. It's about dissolving them, right? You got to find out exactly what's causing you to be so heavily emotional about everything. And you want to give it lightness. You want to learn the nature of surrender. You want to learn the nature of peace. You want to bring yourself into such a space where love is the grandest invitation. You're inviting in love. You're inviting in prosperity. You're inviting in positivity. But then a lot of people say, well, this person's doing this and this person's doing that, and all this stuff is happening in the chaos in the world. You're trying to put all of that excess weight on your shoulders and carry it around. It's not your business. You're trying to change everything. Stop trying to change everything. Make your world perfect. As you make your world perfect first, the surrounding environment is going to shift like a Rubik's Cube, and you are going to feel prosperity, love, happiness, joy within your own space. Don't try to take on the entire world. It's not your business to do that, even with family members who may not know what's going on. Take care of yourself first. Go into states of self-correction. Go into surrender. Go into love. Stop thinking that you need to run around and start changing all these people when you are fragile yourself, when you are frantic yourself, when you're in panic mode yourself. You are not fit to guide anybody when you're in that level of consciousness, right? You're hurting people, right? Because you're just so desperate and say, I want to see change, I want to see change. You can't even change yourself. How do you expect to see change? So you want to invite in prosperity. You want to invite in surrender. You want to invite in peace. Okay, guys, this is why I've created the BCR technique. Okay, the BCR technique, the TC technique on the YouTube channel. Please watch it. Okay, this again gives you a step-by-step thing that you do every single day. And you bring love energy into yourself because you are moving into that state of surrender. You're moving into that releasing. You're moving into that peace. You're moving into that sweet center. Okay? And now you're bringing all that love energy in, and you command it like it's an entity, like it's a butler, right? And you say, I have a lot of this. I'm ready to let go of it. I've moved into a state of surrender. I'm able to bring it into forgiveness. Love energy, take care of it. Done. Okay? So you're working with love energy, and as you work with love energy a lot more, you'll start working with God, right? As you start working with God, now again, your body temple houses God's spirit, God's power, because you are moving yourself into a greater gentleness, into a greater love and support. This is extremely important, okay? So please work with your love energy, work with surrender. It's not about trying to control your emotions. It's not about the idea of anger management, right? Why would you want to manage your anger? Your anger doesn't need to be there. Look into the issues. Anything that relates to the idea of management is a control agenda, right? And that's not going to help you whatsoever. You want to work with surrender. You want to look into the depths, into the bowels of these traumas that you have, and you want to work in forgiving them, right? To give them forgiveness. Again, the BCR technique works with you every step of the way with that, okay? Please watch that video, everybody that is listening to me now live and listening on the recording, okay? Go to my channel, type in BCR technique, TC technique, all in one, okay? Watch that video. That should be the most popular video on my channel, and it's not. Come on, guys. Get yourselves together. Go into a state of surrender. Start working with your love energy, and you're going to liberate yourselves. You're going to feel amazing. Because as you start to get yourself together, you'll know precisely how to instruct others how to get themselves together, because you're a shining, living example of doing this yourself. That's the key. Okay? All right, guys. I know there's a lot of other questions about how long will this be? How long will this be? Guys, get out of the nature of time, right? You keep thinking, oh, I need to spend a year doing this. I need to spend 2 years doing this. You are completely conditioning everything that comes into your life. How long is this going to take? How long do I have to take for me to clear my emotions? How long does it take for me to learn the cosmic laws and blah, blah, blah. Guys, that is wrong thinking, okay? You are thinking wrong. Get out of that thinking, okay? Just be with it. If you guys want to know about the cosmic laws, the universal laws, there's my video, the universal laws map, okay? Watch that video, okay? I talk about all these things, right? If you need to binge watch my channel, and you go and you binge watch my channel, okay? The universal laws map is another important video that talks about that, okay? But stop putting so much time on yourselves, guys. It's like, oh, how long is this going to take? This might take me 5 years to do. You haven't even started yet. You don't even know what you're doing. Why would you put a timestamp on it? Seriously, come on, guys. Being so hard on yourselves, my goodness. Relax, right? Surrender, chill out. And just say, I'm just going to absorb this bit by bit, and I don't care about time restraints because I'm thinking too much like a man. I'm thinking too much like a limited human being. And I'm not thinking like the true God that I am. And that's what you are, a living God, right? So do not focus so much on how long something will take. What is the time for this? How long? How long? How long? It's intellectual garbage, right? Throw it away. Get out of space, get out of time, and come into here and now. And just absorb these things and listen to these things. Stop looking at the surface of everything. Go into your substance. Go into the essence of yourself. Go into the heart of radiant feeling and let that guide you through the entire process. That's like you asking me, how long is it going to take for me to be a psychiatrist? How long is it going to take for me to be an expert painter, right? Do you have a canvas? Do you have an easel? Do you have your paint? No. Well, how do you know until you actually start getting started, right? Do you have your feelings? Do you have your heart? Do you have your soul? Yeah. Well, there you go. You can get started, right? Work with patience, work with surrender, work with love, work with happiness, work with joy. And that's what's going to get you started, rather than looking at deadlines. Deadlines are a horrible thing, right? Well, look at how it's spelled. Dead line. You don't go over this line, you're dead. Get out of that. You don't need that, okay? Throw away the confines of time. It is an illusion, and you are being owned by that illusion. Time and space work for you. It's not the other way around, okay? BCR technique, guys, just go on to YouTube. Go on to YouTube. Go to the search bar on youtube.com. BCR technique. TC technique. All in one. Come on, guys. You should know how to use YouTube. Come on. Seriously. I'm going to start laughing at you guys. All right. I'm just being silly. Anyways. Okay. Well, anyways, thank you so much. I want to give love to Athena right now. Thank you, Athena, for coming through, for sharing all this with us today, for sharing this announcement. And again, a reminder of bringing that love, that stewardship that we need to bring to the earth as well, too. It's important. We are here to help the earth out. So again, my love to Athena. Thank you very much for being here today, and love as well, too. Thank you. Okay, so again, if you guys want to connect with Athena, look at the previous Empathic Interfacing live, and of course the technique to connect with her is on that. But I really just wanted to get into connecting with her today and sharing her announcement. All right. So finally, now we're going to go ahead and connect with RaYaR. Okay, RaYaR is going to come through, and if you guys are still wondering what RaYaR looks like, okay, she's the woman inside the circle there. All right. It's kind of a rough rendition of her. It's not quite accurate, but it's pretty close. It's pretty close. She has the blonde hair, the blue eyes, and all that. But pretty close. So again, very, very good. That was done by Zion Zeta. So again, she'll be coming through, and she'll be doing a language of light transmission for all of us. Okay? So, you guys all good with BCR and TC technique? Okay, someone was nice enough to just to put it all there, BCR and TC technique, all in one. Thank you, Mikhail, for that. So again, guys, just type that into YouTube, into the search bar. You'll find it. It'll be the first video that comes up. All right? So I will go ahead now and connect with RaYaR. RaYaR will come through, and she'll do a language of light transmission for us all as we close off today's webcast. All right, here we go. Beloveds, we thank you for bringing us forward this day of your time. We ask all of you in this moment now to bring yourself into a state of grand relaxation and grand receptivity as you follow your own breath, breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the nose. Long breaths, steady and soft. We ask you now to place one hand upon your heart and placing another hand at the back of your neck, as we will now begin a transmission to assist in the softening of those energy centers. One hand upon the heart, the other hand at the back of the neck. Take your other hand now and place it upon the center of your chest. Think a positive thought for your heart in this moment. Think of something wonderful. Think of something truly majestic. Think of something so beautiful that it lights your soul into an aurora state. Thick, beautiful colors of light patterns that flow throughout the heart, throughout every cell of your body, and moving upwards, moving upwards, moving upwards into the cosmos. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Move your head slowly to the left. Oh. Bring your head back to center. Move it now to the right. Bring your head back to center and look upwards. Bring your head downwards and bring your hands to center. Give love to that which you feel deserves the greatest love. And let this be the end of our transmission at this time. I am RaYaR, singer of Sirius Light. We thank you for this interaction, and we will now return to the conduit. Goodbye. Feel like I just had an energetic massage there. It was really good. So thank you very much, RaYaR. Love you. Thank you, everybody, again, for this wonderful transmission. I'm getting tears in my eyes now. That was so good. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in today to this wonderful transmission. Thank you to Athena. Thank you to RaYaR. Again, I will be back next week, next Friday, for, again, New Earth Teachings webcast for distance healing and Q&A as well, too. And Adronis will be with me at that time, should there be some questions for him also. So again, guys, have a wonderful rest of the week. And again, just one final reminder that Adronis Inside the Galactic Community registration is available on newearthteachings.com. Registration is $4.99. That, again, is going towards printing out the Healing Code Cards Mind Deck project. So again, newearthteachings.com, and you can register there as you see this poster. So thank you again, guys. Have a wonderful rest of the week, and I'll speak to you next week. Namaste.